Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and what time is it? Adventure time! This is a review of the new BMO action figure. So in the past, I've taken a look at some of the other figures from the Jazwares Adventure Time line, specifically the 5-inch scale Stretchy Jake and Stretchy Finn. Now we've got a new wave of these 5-inch figures, which includes this larger size BMO. BMO comes on that standard Adventure Time blister card packaging, featuring a nice colorful background from the animated series in the background there, with an image of Finn and Jake stretching along the side. And then the back of the packaging shows off a selection of the other figures available, including those two 5-inch figures I've already taken a look at, and several of the 2-inch scale figures. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at BMO outside of the packaging. Here's the first thing I've got to point out. This figure does not stand up on its own. It just falls over, flat on his face, repeatedly. Unfortunately, the little feet on the figure is molded completely uneven. Both of them are uneven. They don't stand flat, and no matter how you position this guy, he's not going to stand up on his own. It's a huge downfall to this figure. Might work great for kids who are just planning to play with it, but collectors like myself who want to actually put this guy on a shelf, you're going to need to use sticky tack or something like I did here to get him to stand up. Now, despite the problem with him being able to stand up, the figure does look really nice, does a pretty good job of capturing the look of the character from the animated series. The figure is very hollow, and he's very lightweight when you feel him. But looking at the sculpting on there, you can see he's got all of the buttons that are very colorful, painted nicely on the front. The figure itself is mostly just a solid color blue-green of the way he looks in the cartoon, which is nice. You got little fake speaker holes in the side there, a nice little fake battery pouch on the back. So the overall sculpt of the figure is pretty good, and like I said, looks a lot like the character from the cartoon series. There is a small amount of articulation going on here. The hands are able to move up and down on the sides, and you're able to twist them too at what presumably would be the wrist. And then the legs are able to twist around, but like I said, doesn't really do any good since he doesn't stand up. BMO does have an action feature of sorts, which is really cool. The face is able to flip around to show off some different faces. So of course we've got the standard smiling face. You can flip that around. We've got a little sleeping face for Sleepy Time BMO. We've got an angry face. Arrgh. And then one of the coolest faces on there is this neat little 8-bit Abe Lincoln game that we've seen Jake and Finn playing in the animated series. So that's also a really cool little feature to have. So like I said, BMO stands on the 5-inch scale, so he's about the same size as both Jake and Finn in the 5-inch scale. Of course, that's way out of scale for the character, and the Stretchy Jake came with a smaller version of BMO that is much more to scale, so looking at those side by side, you can see the huge difference. But nonetheless, despite the fact that he's way out of scale with the other characters, it's still a fun little figure to have for your shelf, and it's really neat having the little action features and everything like that with it. So it definitely makes a fun toy. I only wish it could stand up on its own. So there you go, guys. There's a look at BMO from the Adventure Time line. If you're a fan of the series, you might still want to pick it up. Just be warned that it does have its flaws. BMO is in stores right now, so happy hunting, and until next time.